program is brought to you by First National Bank of Batswana. Welcome to First Issues. On this segment of the program, we sit down with entrepreneurs who've been downtrodden in their entrepreneurial pursuits but kept moving forward, even if that meant crawling to the finish line. We acknowledge that this is no easy feat, as there will be trials, challenges, and opposition to navigate. To share his own experience with entrepreneurial challenges, we have on the program Modisa Maphanyane, a techpreneur who's the founder and owner of MobiRides, which according to him is an AI-native platform for small fleet owners and travelers. Before this, he has 7 failed pursuits, having been in advertising, gas delivery services, second-hand book sales, property development, the discipline forces, and many other endeavors, all of which unfortunately did not succeed. Nonetheless, with every perceived failure, Modisa found a way to keep moving forward, innovating even more of what he believed to be viable solutions for the broader community. He showed diligence, a willingness to learn and learn quickly, placing him as a formidable force to be reckoned with for those wanting to share in his wisdom as an entrepreneur. We chat with Modisa on this segment of First Issues. Ms. Maphanyane, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. We're here today to talk to you about your entrepreneurial journey, right? You say you have failed at 7 startups already. So the big question is, how do you continue going? How do you maintain your self-belief even though your efforts are not yielding desired outcomes?
I believe that we have a misunderstanding in terms of the relationship between failure and success. Okay, and we have a misunderstanding of how important it is for any business person to have gone through and experienced failure. Okay, if you haven't failed at business as a business person or as an entrepreneur, that doesn't mean you're a good business person. It means you're very lucky. And too many times I think we confuse instant success, or what maybe looks like instant success, with capability and know-how. So failure is critical. Failure is part of the journey. Failure is the thing that gives you an understanding of what you actually know and what you don't know, and more importantly, what you still need to learn.
With all of that you've went through, just failing at these startups, was there ever a moment that you thought, maybe I should just do away with this entrepreneurship business and just focus on other things, maybe even formal employment?
Definitely. Okay. 100% happened after, I think it was venture number, my last one before this. Family issues. My father fell sick. He had kidney failure, total kidney failure, both kidneys. He was sick for about 5 years. And we finally got the opportunity, thanks to the government of Batswana and one of the medical aids, to take him to India for a transplant. I donated the kidney. We were in India for 6 months. But in that whole dynamic, what gets impacted? And this is where sometimes you realize that there's a difference between having a business and being self-employed. A business is an entity that will still operate even without the owner present. That's a business. 99% of our businesses in Botswana are not businesses. They are self-employment / progressing to business, because if the owner disappears, everything falls apart. Okay, so that happened to me. And my immediate thought process when I encountered that situation was, okay, I need to get a job. When we came back from India, I'd closed the business when I left. That kind of journey where I said to myself, no, okay, I clearly need to go and learn something. I also need to get a job because I have to try and, sustain myself, sustain my family. Okay, what can I do to A, get an income, and then, but B, more importantly, learn how to build a business that can exist outside of me that operates whether I'm there or not. That was one of the challenges of the previous business was we were based here in Botswana and then tried to enter the Mozambican market. Okay, and it was so challenging. I said, okay, go find out A, how do you build a business that is sustainable? B, a business that can operate without you being there. So how do you build a team around that business? 3, how do you scale that business into markets that you don't know anything about and that you're not physically present in? You can find out, you can research, but how do you do that? And that's what led me to joining just before up to last year, I was with JC Decor for 4 years. Yeah. Okay, and they're the #1 global outdoor advertising company, media holder.
What has been your attitude adjustments towards entrepreneurship as a whole? Has it changed looking at what you've learned along the way, what people give you as feedback?
You might know a little bit about something that a lot of people don't know, and then that's why you build a business. But the little bit you know is dwarfed in size by the lot that you don't know. Okay? Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, you need to yes. That's literally what we mean. As an entrepreneur, you need to be learning every day, because every day there's something new under the sun that someone has found or discovered or developed, that if you aren't keeping up with what's happening around you, your business, one day you're going to wake up and your business will be gone. You won't even know how it happened. So a big mistake that a lot of us as founders do and entrepreneurs do, we get so you either doing really well and then you get so inflated. You get so inflated and with how amazing you are, or things can be going really badly, and then you get so sucked into crisis management. Crisis. How do we pay salaries? How do we pay suppliers? How do we do anything? We can't, turn the rent. You get so sucked into that you forget, and both instances, both people forget that circumstances are temporary. Situations are temporary. Okay, but what's permanent is your learning journey is permanent. It can't be taken away.
Mama, kana male jana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi. FNB re diretse tiro motlho. Ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwala FNB Cash Plus. Se se tlhokanyela ke o mang wa gago mo tirisong le reference number e bong dinomoro tse di diriswang go ruragatsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke ngotso samplele ka mananeo ya FNB ya Cash Plus.
La ha re le nna ke gone go utlwang ka tona ebile ke ne ke sa dumele.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from eWallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB. Dona. Nyawa ena ke ra sa thara. Mpare mo tiki. Na ke ra go motho ya la mamarape. O tola skontere hela. Wa go semosong wa go duela semosong. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
FNB, how can we help you?
Thank you so much for staying with First Issues. Our conversation with founder and chief executive officer of MOBI-RIDES, Modisa Maphanyane, continues, where we talk to him about the challenges of entrepreneurship and what he has learned navigating them. So let us talk about your current venture, MOBI-RIDES. All right. Unpack what it is and how it works.
We're trying to achieve a couple of things. The big, hairy, audacious goal, is line up with the trends. What are the trends showing us? Okay, and this is something that in the lean mindset and lean startup methodology, it says to you, don't go against the wind. Look for where the wind is blowing. The wind is blowing urban mobility. Okay, urbanization. People are moving into the cities. That's not going to stop. 2, sustainability. Okay, climate change. Those things are not going away. Okay, so what are we trying to achieve with MobiRides? With MobiRides, it's very simple. We are trying to build the rails and the infrastructure that's going to allow us to what? Deploy e-mobility at scale. We want within 7 years to have large-scale adoption, be one of the drivers for large-scale adoption of e-mobility. We came here and we said, okay, how do we do that? Here in Botswana. Let's dig a bit deeper. All right, there's a booming market for informal rentals. Between January and 15th, we've been testing. We built a platform. Okay, we've got 100 users on the platform. We've got 30 vehicles on the platform. Okay, we're trying to get to 200 users and to get to, 500 users and get to 200 vehicles. So we're taking very incremental steps to build in a way that is sustainable, that can allow us to bring in this technology that makes it safe for people to rent out their personal vehicle, and then drive and incentivize people who've got fleets of 5, 6, 10, 20 to say, put in 3 electric vehicles. Okay? We will finance those electric vehicles.
Let us talk now about milestones and what you've been able to achieve. Can you quantify your successes within MobiRides?
The lean startup methodology, it has something very foundational. It says build in public. Talk about the business and try to find customers for the business before you even spend any money. That's what we did last year. You know, I think we provided chauffeur services for the Austrian ambassador, provided, I think, vehicles for events, once again, just without any platform, okay, for some corporate events, some photo shoots, you know. We provided that. We were just a middleman. So those are the things that showed that, oh, there's actually demand, there's actually appetite, okay, there's actually suppliers who are willing to work with us, okay. So now when we have a platform and we say, okay, we've got this platform, you have a fleet owner, list your vehicles on the fleet, and your vehicles will be rented out. They'll be rented out to verified people, they'll be rented who have ratings, you're going to have insurance, and we're also going to allow you to access financing, okay, so that you are able to just renew and refresh your fleet. When we came and said that, we're talking to people who already know who we are. Yeah. And then we incorporated in January and we began actually testing the platform. So we've got the side that shows the business can work. Now we need to show the technology can work. And that's what we've done. We did our minimum viable product. We incorporated AI. Now we have customers, we've got cars, we've got insurance partners coming in, we've got financial partners, okay, we've got car tracking partners, you see.
So in closing, if you were to find yourself at a seminar of young people who are do we call them entrepreneurial hopefuls? What is it that you would say to them? 2, 3, 4 things. 1, no one owes you a job and no one is going to give you a job just because you ask for it. 2, your education, the education you're receiving is a really good foundation. There's thousands of graduates, tens of thousands of graduates. There's thousands of master's holders. There's hundreds of PhDs. Okay? Yeah. But there are no jobs for those hundreds of PhDs, thousands of master's holders, and tens of thousands of graduates. Okay. So to rise to the top, you're going to need to have more than the paper that is a qualification. So be very prepared to do more and provide more than you get. That's what gives you a competitive edge. When you're an entrepreneur, 1, whether the money is there or it's not, you're still an entrepreneur. You understand? Because you're still building. You should still be building. Whether the money's there or not, you should still be building. And as an entrepreneur, the first thing you're going to be building, and you need to be building, and you need to concentrate on building, is your team. That's the business. The team is the business. It's not what it sells. Yeah. It's not what the business sells. It's not what you're selling. It's not your marketing. It's not your advertising. It's not your loans. It's the team. And I think Rona Batswana, we overlooked that quite a lot. Okay. Yeah. So you have to get that right. When you get that right, now you can say you're an entrepreneur. Yeah. When you can build teams. And more importantly, don't disappoint your team. If there's one thing to take away from this conversation is that there's wisdom in having a teachable spirit that never tires to learn. Modisa Maphanyane says that has been his superpower in his almost 20 years as an entrepreneur. And even in these setbacks, that is the one thing he has never lost and never will. And on that note, we break for commercials. Thank you for tuning in.
Ta bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala e go duela metsi.
Mama ka re male jaana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi FNB re diretse tiro motlho
Senthe
mma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwala FNB Cash Plus se se tlhokanyela ke o mang wa gago mo tirisong le reference number e bong dinomoro tse diriswang go ruragatsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke ngontso sampolele ka mananeo ya FNB ya Cash Plus.
hela ha re le nna ke gone ke utlwang ka dona ebile ke ne ke sa dumele.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from eWallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity, and many more.
FNB.
Dona. Nyawa ene ke ra sa thare. Mpare mo tiki. Na ke ra go motho go thoela mamarape. Go tola skontere hela. Wa go se mosunga go duela se mosu. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
FNB, how can we help you?
Welcome back to First Issues. We're in this segment where solutions to problems that entrepreneurs may be having are delivered by industry experts, captains, and service providers. Previously, business analyst at one of the local commercial banks, Renee Ditirwa, spoke about the bank's app, cell phone banking, and online banking solutions as some of the ways to conveniently transact without having to walk into a branch. These solutions save both time and money. Tonight, Renee returns with a colleague of hers, transactional banking specialist Christopher Marumo, to discuss two other solutions for entrepreneurs, eWallet and eWallet Pro.
eWallet is basically a digital wallet that we offer, and it offers more convenience to people who are non-banked with us. What we're basically saying is, as much as you don't have an account with us, we are able to offer you this wallet that can offer you the convenience to be able to transact and move your funds. So for people who are banked with us, they are able to transfer money from their wallet to the main account. So eWallet is more similar to how we have banked people who are using cardless withdrawal. I don't have to carry an ATM card when I go to the ATM, so I use cardless withdrawal. So for someone who's not banked with FNB, they use eWallet. And it's more convenient for people who don't have access to banks.
What could be some limitations, or are there any limitations to eWallet?
For eWallet, daily limit is 5,000 pula. But on a monthly basis, you have a limit of 25,000 pula. So the 5,000 pula applies to both the person who's sending to you and the person who's receiving. But to bridge the gap and sort of solve for that, to allow people to be able to use eWallet more, for our entrepreneurs, we have eWallet Pro, which gives you the flexibility to be able to transact more as compared to retail customers. I'll also allow Chris to touch more on that.
Chris, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. We're here with you to continue a conversation that we've just had with Renee, right? Renee spoke about eWallet, but then said what she was explaining was more in line with the needs of a retail client, which is, the everyday Batswana tshwanang bona theko jana. But then there is a different e-wallet, which is called eWallet Pro, which is catering to the needs of entrepreneurs, commercial clients. So maybe you could start off there and explain what eWallet Pro is.
Remember in 2023, we phased out checks, right? And we left our clients without what to do in terms of now, because that's what they were used to doing, right? Using checks to move their business funds around. So what we created is a prepaid card. This card is what we call eWallet Pro, all available on your online banking platform, right? So eWallet Pro allows the business to send funds directly to this card, and this card can be assigned to anyone in the business, whether it be your accountant, your driver, whoever it be that requires funds or that immediately. Now that card can be used to make those transactions, right? So I think maybe to highlight on the differences between the two, I mean your normal eWallet as we know it and eWallet Pro. For sure, the first thing would be the card. Talking about how much a card can hold up to. Your normal eWallet holds up to 5,000. This eWallet Pro holds up to 500,000 pula a month. And remember, when your wallet already has 5,000 pula in terms of the retail side of things, you cannot go further than that until that person cashes out that amount. eWallet Pro now gives you that leeway of being able to hold up to 500,000 pula. For someone who's earning 6,000, 8,000, now you're able to send seamlessly all at once, right? So there's functionality, also solutions for that problem. And then now, obviously, with the Visa card coming into play now, they're able to now swipe and do other things rather than just waiting to cash out that amount.
Before we close off this conversation, is there something that maybe you would like to add as far as eWallet and eWallet Pro are concerned for our entrepreneurs?
Right. The one thing that I would like to highlight is how eWallet Pro would definitely save some funds for the commercial client, right? Meaning there's no swiping fee charges on that card, right? There's also no monthly or maintenance fee charges on this card. This will definitely be some added value to the client that holds that card.
Having unbanked staff does not have to be the inconvenience it can be for you as an entrepreneur who needs to be paying salaries and professional fees at the end of every month. Digital solutions such as eWallet Pro help with not only such inconveniences, but solve for financial inclusion issues. Thank you so much for watching Thursday Issues. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your evening and good night. This program was proudly brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.